Bang. All right, here we are, Marine Conservation Expeditions headquarters, and doing my video blog. Ian Kellett here. So had a really interesting call today with Adam Bask at the PEW Charitable Trust. They have a great marine conservation program and a really insightful call. He told us about some really interesting initiatives. The one I liked that seemed to resonate most with some of our agenda and objectives was they brought together all these journalists from all the islands throughout Micronesia, FSM, Samoa, and they did a whole brain dump on the importance of tuna, the economics, the environment, the science. And these journalists were able to go back to their home countries and publish articles, video blogs, journalism pieces, and really raise the social awareness on tuna and the issues facing these small island nations. I think that's really great. It resonates with Marine Conservation Expeditions and our formula that you really have to get people from within a culture talking to each other. It doesn't do much good to come in from the outside and tell people this is how you should manage your resources. But you can provide good catalysts, resources, and motivation as outsiders. But really, when it comes to amplifying an existing environmental value or ethics or cultural subset, it really works much better when they're talking to each other. The other thing that I thought was really interesting in tuna is fish aggregation devices. I didn't realize that if you released a fish aggregation device, which is essentially a huge net or some floating set of debris that fishermen release, they put a satellite tag within it, and then they track it, and then a couple of years later they can come back and harvest essentially what has become an entire ecosystem that forms underneath these floating pieces of flotsam and debris. And the fishermen can just make a killing getting tuna, sharks, all sorts of open water pelagics because they aggregate underneath them. What I didn't realize was it's all essentially illegal fishing, in that if a fish aggregation device is released in Papua New Guinea and it floats into Palauan waters, and then the fishermen come from afar, they don't have the right to come in and collect all of that fish in someone else's waters. Those waters are all owned by the economic zoning of each of these islands, which is about 200 miles out. Anyways, great call. Really looking forward to working with the PEW Charitable Trust, meeting up with their directors, and hopefully making an amazing experience that attracts. This is the quadruple win. You get the big donors, a really interesting expedition where they get connected to the initiatives that the PEW Trust is putting forth. It's a win for the filmmakers who get to make films and apply their craft towards a meaningful project. It's a win for PEW because they are essentially supporting all of their local partners and supporting the policy that they're engaged in. And it's a win for all the local groups who are able to acquire all this professionally produced media. So that's what we're all about here at MCE. Win, 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 win.